Alright, black red prison. Nope, that was Gristlebrand. This is a, this is a Blood Moon Chalice of the Void deck, but one of the things I do like about what this deck has going on is that in addition, instead of just being the straight up mono red decks that tend to have a hard time interacting with a lot of different permanent types, this one's got black in it, so we've got things like Bedevil and Kolaghan's Command here, as well as Collective Brutality and Liliana the Veil to give us a little bit of play. We also have this really interesting Master of Cruelties as a one-of to win the game through Ensnaring Bridge, which is kind of cute. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches. What gym do I use? I go to LA Fitness. We have, LA has a service where, for certain hours of the day, you can bring the kids with you. And they have a play area for them that has, like, toys and a TV and stuff and someone to watch them. So that's convenient. Sure. One of the things I really like about Collective Brutality in this deck too is this is definitely a style of deck where game ones especially, you can suffer from what I like to refer to as wrong half problem, where your cards like Blood Moon's not good in a matchup or Chalice isn't good, and Collective Brutality and Liliana the Veil allow us to convert these resources that would otherwise not be particularly useful into something that can have an impact in the game that we're playing. Seacrum Coast Serum Visions, I believe, statistically is Ad Nauseam, which this hand's actually not terrible against Ad Nauseam. Blood Moon's actually pretty okay against them. They could also be some kind of brew or fair deck as well. Simian Spirit Guide, Pentad Prism heavily implies Ad Nauseam. I'm going to go ahead and put Chalice on 1 against them next turn because it locks them off of Angel's Grace and their cantrips. Worth noting for people not familiar with the split second mechanic is that Chalice of the Void beats split second is the TLDR. I have both Bedevil and K-Command in my deck, which can shatter this Pentad Prism, which is sweet. I'm going to discard the Anger to escalate. Might as well. Get me some extra health. Kills them a little bit faster. Mono 1-mana things. Nice. Fair deck. So, fair and unfair are generic Magic the Gathering terms. We do use them sarcastically quite frequently on this stream, especially with regards to Modern. In general, the non-facetious way to use those terms is fair refers to a deck that's trying to be like interactive with its opponent, and unfair refers to deck like the Gristlebrand deck we just played, which is basically just trying to race its opponent into the ground as quickly as possible. So the downside to playing the Blood Moon proactively here is that it locks me off of being able to cast Liliana the Veil if I draw one, because I don't have double black at the moment. But turning off their Temple of Deceits is good upside. Couldn't cast that anyways, because I don't have lands this turn. Chandra kills them very quickly. She does 2 damage a turn, and then eventually she ultimates to deal 5. Getting the Blood Moon down when I did locks them off of being able to unlife, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and escalate this again. I don't really need another Blood Moon. I wouldn't mind draining them. Kills them faster. It's a lot of unlife, opponent. So that's using the vernacular incorrectly, Raymile. So what you're looking for, fair and unfair in terms of Magic jargon, explicitly does not refer to the power level of their deck. If that makes sense. So what you're doing there is you're referring to the power level of the deck to dictate fair versus unfair, and that's not generally how we use that jargon. So, Caw-Blade, regardless of its power level, even though it was eventually banned, is a fair deck through and through. It is not a combo deck. Now, its power level was obviously very high, but it's still a fair Magic deck. In the way we use the term fair and unfair in Magic. No, unfair, from my understanding, the way the jargon's always been used to me, just refers explicitly to a deck's ability to win the game via a combo, not strictly an infinite combo. Does Ad Nauseam still side Grave Titan? I don't know. This seems fine. I'm bringing in some extra threats and some slaughter games. Cutting my things that interact with creatures so my opponent's deck doesn't have creatures. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. All infinite combo decks are unfair decks, but not all unfair decks are infinite decks. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. This hand's great. It's Collective Brutality on 2, into Rabblemaster on 3, into Slaughter Games on 4, hopefully. Yeah, but Slaughter Gamesing Ad Nauseam makes it so it's incredibly difficult for them to win. In a different era of Legacy Magic, I remember I played a Slaughter Games in the sideboard of my 4-color Loam deck, and I remember I was playing against a High Tide player, and I cast Burning Wish, and they looked at their hand, they obviously had a Force of Will, and they were like, yeah, they thought about it, and they're like, yeah, that resolves. And then I put Slaughter Games on the table, and they were like, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake. Hey, Trig, thanks for the 3 months, I really appreciate that. Welcome back, thanks for keeping me employed here. Alright, so I think I just Goblin Rabblemaster here and try and close the game out. So hoping to draw a land next turn so I can Slaughter Games their Ad Nauseam. If we miss on the land next turn for Slaughter Games, I am going to Collective Brutality my opponent because I want the chance to take Ad Nauseam away from them before this Lotus Bloom comes off a suspend. Perfect. Never didn't have it. And now, while they technically can still win without their namesake card Ad Nauseam, it takes a lot more setup. And Goblin Rabblemaster is going to mean that they don't have time to do that. They had it in their hand. Did they bring in any alternative win conditions? They did not. So the way they win the game now is they have to Spoils of the Vault to deck themselves and then win with Laboratory Maniac. And now Rabblemaster gets to clock them very quickly. Rabblemaster is like a more busted Legion War boss. He makes a token every turn and he gains 1 power for each other attacking goblin. So he gets real big real quick. Phyrexian on Life and Angel's Grace prevent that from happening. I assume they're going to cast Simian Spirit Guide here. The best part about having 2 copies of Goblin Rabblemaster in play is that you don't have to click to attack, they just go. So they don't both add 2 power per turn, Chalky, because Goblin Rabblemaster is better because it still has that extra power from the goblins if it couldn't attack for a couple of turns. So basically every time Legion War Boss is unable to attack, you're losing potential power with it because it's not mentoring. Whereas like with Rabblemaster, you kind of store them up. You can like not attack with him for a couple of turns, but then still be reasonable. I think this is just the hands this deck is signing up to keep. Like, this deck does not have that many 2-mana spells in it. So I think I'm just keeping hands that don't do anything till 3 a non-zero amount of the time. Alright, 4 Leyline of the Voids, get in my deck. Yeah, the Black Tool single-handedly beat. To set a bar that's low, I think this deck is an upgrade from the traditional mono-red prison decks that people like to play. But, again, I'm of the opinion that that's kind of a low bar. What's with all the modern? We are, we're at the end of we're kind of at the end of the cycle for Standard, so I'm kind of spent on the current Standard format. So it felt like a good opportunity rather than taking days off to just work through my modern queue. I think I want the K command just because they shock my opponent. These Lilianas are really not that good. I have an Encore with Geoff. I do not know where that mask went in the move. All right, let's resolve the Leyline mulligan correctly. Bottom this, put this into play. All right. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. Is this the kind of deck that you won't be accepting anymore? I don't know. This seems kind of okay on the surface. Let's see how the league goes. I do think this deck improves and fixes issues the mono red version has, and the mono red version yay, modern! Woo! Modern! What an incredibly interesting and stimulating game of Magic the Gathering my opponent and I have partaken in. I conceded turn 0 game 1. They conceded turn 0 game 2. Welcome to Modern, home of the 1-game match. And you thought you didn't get to play best of 1 on Magic Online, chat, didn't you? And you thought we didn't get to play best of 1 on Magic Online. Grishelbrand, the deck 4-1'd I3-2'd. Alright, so I gotta ship 2 of these. I think it's just the lands. You are the person who single-handedly convinced me to play Arena. All the love in the world to you. Keep memeing on people. Thank you for the 10-month straw. I really appreciate that. Welcome. And this is the part where they Nature's Claim or Assassin's Trophy me, and then I die because my hate card died, right? That's how this works. Why do we keep in Blood Moon against Dredge? Because it turns off Life from the Loam, and Life from the Loam is one of the ways that they get to kill you with Conflagrate through Ensnaring Bridge. This is actually really good, because a lot of the time, one of their ways to kill Leyline is Nature's Claim. So, they could have Assassin's Trophy. Also, like, Blood Moon locks them out of playing their cards that kill Leyline most of the time as well. So that's meaningful also. An attack, Jelly. The Narcomoebas are coming! The Narcomoebas are coming! Bloodghast! Oh no! Alright, if I draw a 4th land next turn, I'm going to put Chalice of the Void on 2, which should lock them out of their ways to interact with Leyline, I believe. Unless they have a Maelstrom Pulse. Sometimes they have a one of those still, but that's kind of fallen by the wayside with the addition of Trophy to the format. Yeah, Chalice. If I get Chalice on 2, I just have to not die to their Draft Chaff, basically. And on the back of Chandra, that should be easy-ish to do. We'll see. We could get really unfortunate here and just get beat down by, like, Narcomoebas and Stinkweed Imps. Like, they could cast a Prized Amalgam here. Most stock dredge lists can't take Leyline of the Void off the table from this position. This Chandra is going to draw us a card or two and be like, hey, look, a distraction, which is nice. I don't just want to down tick her, I don't think. I think I want to play in plus, because this lets her draw a card next turn and she draws 6 points of damage from me. Ensnaring Bridge and Anger of the Gods both work towards locking this game up. Ensnaring Bridge should be a lock. Trigger. No Narcomoeba for you. Come back in 1 year. I think I'm down for a backup Leyline. Oh no, not hard cast Creeping Chill. Ah! Ah! I mean, if we brick and die from here, we might just not do anything, right? Alright, kill your... Oh no! My Collective Brutality! We foiled ourselves! I want to cast that because I need my hand to be empty for Ensnaring Bridge anyways. So, like, it is reasonable to cast that. We're dead in 4. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Now that's not one of the cards I was talking about being great, but golly is she great. Alright, what am I slaughter gamesing? Is it Prized Amalgam? Do I slaughter... Is it Prized Amalgam or is it Creeping Chill? It's Creeping Chill, right? Because I'm at 9. So they have 4 Nature's Claim, so confirmed cannot take the Leyline off the table. We have Conflagrates to worry about still. Let's take a picture because it lasts longer. Well, Conflag only deals 2 currently, right? It's red XX. So Conflag doesn't do that much here. Are they conceding? Did they decide their time's worth more? Did I already use this? I already used this. Never mind. I was like, why can't I click on my thing? I forgot I had already plussed her. They're going for the throat here. We could die. Playing their lands out makes their conflagrates better. Yikes, chat! Oh no! Oh no! Stinky's coming for us. I'm scared. Alright, Grey Ogre, I choose you! Do I even ultimate the Lily here? I don't know. Says, this is why these decks tend to be bad. It's like, we drew all our hate cards. It just, oh, they're tapping Lily. God bless us. That seems really good for us. All right, and this locks them off. This doesn't lock them off of Conflagrate, but it does lock them off of Prized Amalgam, which is a worry. We have 2 Conflags in their deck. Yeah, but there's only 2 Conflags and there's 4 Amalgams, so I think playing around Amalgam is correct here. It also locks them off of playing future Stinkweed Imps. So this locks them off of 6 cards as opposed to helping them with 2. Yep. We slaughter games creeping, Chillburgle. Bloodghast are locked out by the Chalice of the Void. They must have another Conflagrate, right? Like, casting the Conflagrate there makes me feel like they have the second, I'm dead to a land. Or I'm just dead to it, right? They hit me for 2 and then they hit me for 1 and then Conflag me for 2. We know they had 2 Conflagrates in their deck right now. I'm a little surprised they keep hitting Lily. Like, I think they're supposed to hit me. Because, like, if I ult the Lily, I die to the Imps next turn. Alright. If we, do we draw Slaughter Games or do they draw Conflag first? We have 1 Slaughter Games, they have 1 Conflag. They cannot take any of my artifacts or enchantments off the table. This was their deck a little bit ago, and the only way it had to do that was Nature's Claim. Do I start down-ticking my Lily? Because her ult doesn't do anything. I have Hazoret in my deck and Master of Cruelties. I think I start down-ticking Lily. Right? I guess no. I want to do this because this way if I draw a removal spell, I can hold a card in my hand because Liliana keeps the other Stinkweed Imp at bay. So Liliana's soft removal for one of these, and then if I hit removal spell for the other, I can draw up and then kill them with the alt tokens. Or that, yeah. Now I can just hold a land and I kill them. So they're dead in 2. So I need to dodge their second Conflagrate for 2 more turns. Dang it. That was literally the only card in their deck that did anything. It was literally the only card in their deck that did anything. They could not cast any 3-mana spells. They had just that, and they had already played the second one. Magic. Mr. Tasty, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, exactly, right? And like, that's just such the epitome of like why these prison decks leave a lot to be desired in Modern, right? Like, a lot of things went well for us this game and it just didn't matter, right? Like, a lot of our things came together, we locked them out of everything except one card, and then they hit it and we died. I mean, we weren't really that unlucky. Like, our deck doesn't have that many ways to close the game, which is the big problem with these prison decks a lot of the time is, what do you do once you've locked the game up? All of these decks in Modern are so powerful and attack you from so many different angles that locking them out of some parts of their game plan and then giving them infinite turns to draw out of that isn't very good. Monjoey, thank you for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here. Need to splash tea, great. Yep. Just ate a wheel of brie at work for lunch while watching the stream and playing Guild of Wars. That's where my life is right now. Thanks for helping with Magic. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good day. It's almost snack time here. Just gonna snack a little bit because I'm gonna end a little bit early today so I can eat a real lunch, which sounds great. All right, there's a Blood Moon. Let's take your Assassin's Trophy away and then Blood Moon you off playing Magic next turn. Fetch lands. Wow. What kind of lucky person has fetch lands in their deck? And like, here's the other part of Blood Moon that makes Blood Moon leave a lot to be desired in this format is they're guaranteed getting 1 basic. Oh. Okay, well. Land. 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 Yikes. Alright, well. Probably still dead. Opponent made bad life choices, probably doesn't matter for them. Yeah, it can't get discarded, but like, even if I draw the land next turn, they're gonna get to fetch a basic swamp now. Like, they're less locked out of the game. Or they can fetch a stomping ground. Ew. Last hope, don't care. Come on! Come on! Come on! No! 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 Oh, no! Oh! Oh, my sweet, sweet Temple Malice. There's one temple in this deck, isn't there? There's one singleton Temple of Malice in our deck. Yikes. Yikes. In retrospect, we should have seen that coming. Ain't that the truth? Oh, time to cut the temple. Rage, cut the temple. Well, at least even if this deck is bad, it was funny. Panera or Chipotle? Gosh, that's like an actual tough one. / unban, and then username. Rage cuts are best cuts. Jund. Do I have 0 cards in my sideboard for Jund? I have a call against command in and a Magus out. Okie doke. Hey, Vegeta. I'm glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Thanks for dropping in and supporting my content here today. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good middle of your week, beginning of your week, wherever we're at. Yeah, the friendly fire emote wasn't getting used because I don't use the fast timeout mod anymore. So I axed that one a while back. I guess. This is the part where they poke us apart with discard spells and we are incredibly sad. Simian Spirit Guide. Simian Spirit Guide. Simian Spirit Guide. Come on. All right, I'll take a swamp. I'll settle for a swamp. What do you think of Warping Whale as a sideboard card in Hardened Scales? I think if I was expecting to play against a lot of blue-white control with Terminus, it seems fine. Other than countering Terminus, I'm not sure where I really want that effect, though. Panera. I'm going to go with Panera today. They're both very good, though. All right, we actually have lands to cast Blood Moon. Maybe we'll get a freebie. Oh, we hit the swamps too. Look at us. Is this it? Is our luck turning around? Are we about to go on a streak here? How does it make you feel, opponent, on the inside? This is the part where they just go like basic. The rethinking life choices pause, yep. Rude. Yes, Lily plus anger does currently kill Goyf, which is nice. Get that out of there. OP curves into Stormbreath. I would lose my mind. If my opponent played a Stormbreath Dragon, I would just be... At least we got a freebie, right? It's like games like this. It's like, well, our deck finally did its thing, but like, was this even really a very interesting game of Magic, right? Like, my opponent just didn't do anything. Like we won because their deck did nothing. Oh, I guess I could have activated Hazoret. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Oh no. Oh no, they drew a forest. Oh no, they drew a forest. Stop. You're not supposed to cast spells. You're not supposed to cast spells, opponent. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, this is the last deck of the day, Hider. I did like 10 hours yesterday. Say hello to my little friend. He's got First Strike and Death Touch. This is the reading Master of Cruelties pause for people not familiar. Do 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 do. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Oh no, it did matter. It did matter. Oh no. Oh no. Opponent holds a grudge, chat. Because he's got First Strike and Death Touch. Duh. Why would you not want to play Master of Cruelties? Come on now. What part of this league has indicated to you that we are making good decisions? If they double block, this First Strike kills the Goyf, and then that just bounces off the skews. So they could double block. It just doesn't really work out for them. Do 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 do. What's going on, Mustfall? Yeah, they're going to fetch a bunch of basics. We're going to have a real bad time this game. I don't know. I feel like Master of Cruelties could have just been any reasonable closing card there. A lot of Awake. That's a good way to describe a 2-week gold. I don't believe in mulliganing against decks full of discard spells, Burgle. So lands and spells, let's keep. I especially think, like, Blood Moon's less likely to be potent this game because they know what's going on. So Trophy's more flexible, but it gives me a land, so I'm going to leave them that one. Most of the things they'd be killing with Trophy die to decay anyways. They know about Liliana, so I expect we'll see them play a Liliana here. Although Veil would devour their hand, because they'll go Veil, I'll go Veil, and we'll both go up. That's a good point. I think I'm going to bin Master of Cruelties here, because there's no way I'm casting. Yeah, their creature land's a little annoying at this point. It's worth noting that, like, we've gotten to a point where if they're tapping out, Blood Moon's going to be an okay draw this game. Just because they didn't have the option to fetch basics here. There's a bunch of copies of Bedevil in my deck that can kill these Planeswalkers as well. I'm going to discard my spell to this Liliana the Veil, because the spell's not very useful in this current board state. And if they draw, like, an Inquisition, I want them to Inquisition me and then plus their Liliana and take all the cards out of my hand. They knew about this Liliana, so I wonder if we'll see them bin their Liliana and then trophy mine, so they have the only Planeswalker. No, they're going to have 2 walkers. Okay. So, really hoping to draw a copy of Bedevil here so we can kill their Liliana the Veil. Hazoret would also be an A+ draw. Their land drop there from them is so much better than a spell because it means they're 1 land away from Raging Ravine, and they also get to make me discard a card without them discarding. So, looking for Hazoret or Bedevil here. Ensnaring Bridge would also be decent. Right, that's castable at least, right? Chump blocks Raging Ravine for a turn. How about Grey Ogre? Their Liliana the Veil ultimates before ours, so I really need to draw Hazoret or Bedevil this turn, so I don't get ulted by their Liliana the Veil. Alright, Hazoret no longer good enough. That's not true. I can edict that. Yeah. Ooh. This doesn't have any power before anybody asks why I don't edict them in attack, because Liliana the last open up on it. Yeah, this deck's pretty bad. Someone asked me at the start of this league if this is one of the decks I wouldn't be accepting anymore now that I'm more strict. After playing it, the answer to that question is yes. I'm going to go ahead and be done for the day. I'm ending about an hour early, but we ran like 3 hours late yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and call that a wash. Unless they magically announce that they're releasing the set a day early for the rest of us plebeians tomorrow, I plan to take tomorrow off building decks. If you're looking for standard deck ideas, I've already started filling decks into the deck queue, such as Flibbit Party Bus and Grixis Control with Nico Bolas. So the deck queue on my website, you can find these various updates to these decks. So if you're looking for stuff to play yourself on Thursday, you can find that stuff there. I'm gonna get everything uploading from this to YouTube here shortly, and I'll catch all of y'all around soon. War of the Spark isn't up to date for normal people. It's only up to date for people that have early access on Wizard streaming event. And that does not include me. We did not 3-2. We 1-2'd, and I decided I was done because this deck is bad. Niv Super Friends. The Niv Super Friends deck is probably bad, but we're gonna try it. Alright, I'll catch all of y'all Thursday. Have a good one.